way to do it. Hi, once again, everybody. Welcome into the Arizona Rattlers Coaches Show with Kevin Guy. My name is Floyd Simmons, and here midweek for the Rattlers, week number 6 of their season about to get underway. We welcome you all in, and Coach Guy, welcome to the show. Welcome to your show. I hope things are going well, and it's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Floyd. Thanks for having me.
You bet. All right, Coach, I guess we lead off with this. The first thing is, since we're coming off a bye week and you have not had a chance to play for almost 2 weeks, a full week and a half now, the first question is, how was the vacation? We left our last show talking about you getting a chance to get away, get out of town. Well, how did things go?
I had a full 48-hour run, so I'm good. I'm refreshed. I'm ready to roll.
There we go. Got to get those batteries recharged every once in a while. I'm sure the guys, I'm sure the team enjoyed a couple of days off as well as you try to heal up a little bit and get ready to attack the mid part of the schedule. The Rattlers 5-0, undefeated, a 5-game winning streak to start this season. And you know what? You're going to face a team that has the same thing under their belt, a 5-game winning streak. The Frisco Fighters, the only 2 teams that have won their past 5 games in a row, you and the Fighters. And that's what's in store, the first of 2 matchups with the Fighters inside of 3 games that you'll play. Let's talk about the matchup. Let's talk about what you expect to see from Frisco on Saturday night.
Yeah, they dropped their season opener, against Massachusetts, who's, the defending national, champions here in our league. But at that point, I don't think Coach Mack had settled in on a quarterback yet. And, it seems like he's kind of settled in, on his guy now. And the team's playing well. They pressure you. It's all about pressure for them, up front, in the back end, offensively. So they've got a good unit. I don't know who we're going to play. I mean, they do transactions every day. So, they're changing that roster up every day. So, we'll see who we see. But, Coach Mack's done a great job with that organization. This is his first year there. They were an expansion team last year and made it to the semifinals, and he's been able to keep that momentum going for that organization. So, I think it's going to be our first real test of the season, and we're looking forward to it because we want to know, where we're at and what we got to do to advance our mission.
When you talk about the Frisco Fighters, Coach, and what kind of weapons they have and what threats you have to try to extinguish if you can defensively, I think it begins with their running attack, and it begins with Justin Rankin, who ranks at the top of the rushing charts this season in the IFL so far. He gets in the end zone a lot, and he seems to be the go-to weapon for this Frisco offense.
Yeah, he's been a nice addition to this, to this roster. And anytime you got a good running back, that means you got some big boys that are knocking you off the ball. And they've done a good job too, as a unit. Their offensive line is playing well. And don't forget about, Blake Sims. He can hurt you with his feet. He can hurt you throwing the ball as well. So, their running back, Rankins, has done a great job this year. He's been a great fit for them. But they've got a pretty potent offense that we got to get ready for.
So the Frisco Fighters are up next for the Arizona Rattlers. Coach, the last time we visited, you indicated to me that this defense was one of the better defenses, maybe the best defense you've had in the years that you have coached here in Arizona, and it certainly looks the part out there. That defense is 1 full touchdown better than the next team in the league in terms of scoring defense. You are limiting people for sure out there and doing a great job. You got to be proud of them. That defensive backfield, I think, is where a lot of this is. We boil it down to how well those guys are playing. You've got Kyrie Woods, who's come in to the team this season, is tied for the league lead in interceptions. He leads the league in passes broken up. And Devontae Merriweather, I believe, is number 5 in tackles this season in the IFL. 2 great names, but a great whole unit on defense that has led the way for your Rattlers.
Yeah, I mean, I think our defense as a team has been playing well. But we're going to get tested this week, and again, find out what we need to address, if anything at all. It starts up front. We got a saying around here: pressure, pick, cover, sack. You got to play hand in hand together, and our D line has been playing exceptional as well. And when you get that pressure, you're able to get those picks, right? And vice versa. So when you got good coverage, you're able to get those sacks. So but when I look around the league, not always when I watch film do the fronts match what they're doing on the back end. And I think we do a pretty good job of making sure of that. When you watch Frisco, they're doing a great job of what they're doing up front is matching what they're doing on the back end, and those guys are playing together as a team.
Coach, as you get set to go in, was it a fruitful 2 weeks for your team in terms of being able to heal up, in terms of getting over the dings that you invariably are going to experience as a football team? What's the health like of the Rattlers going into week number 6 for your team?
Well, physically we've been able to heal up, but we've got a little bit of the flu bug going around right now, and we've had guys miss practice and not be able to come to work because it's been running through our locker room. So hopefully we can get over that before the weekend. But if not, someone else is going to have to step up. And but we've had some guys sick, but that's life, right? You got to figure out a way to adapt and overcome it, and we will. We'll figure that out.
It's the Arizona Rattlers Coaches Show with Kevin Guy, everybody, and we certainly appreciate having you along with us as the Rattlers get ready, coming off a bye week to take on a team that is regarded as the second best team in the league by the coaches. The coaches poll shows Frisco the number 2 ranked team, right behind the Rattlers. Let me start right there in talking about the big matchup this weekend, Coach, and that is, do the coaches know what they're talking about? Is this legitimately number 1 versus number 2 right now, this point of the season, as you get ready to face them at their place on Saturday?
Well, I think that you put that out for the fans, right? When I look at it, when I look around the league, right now, I'd say there's 5 teams that have a legit opportunity at this point in the season. Rosters change throughout the season, and injuries happen, and all that. But I'd say there's about 5 teams right now that I've got marked that I think has got a legit chance to win a championship, and that's the way it is in any league. When you look around, but so the rankings. We're not winning a championship this weekend. It really comes down to who's the best team on that day. In the playoffs, and a lot of things can happen between now and then. Right now, it's just really about the process, and the journey, and making our corrections as we go, and trying to be the best team that we can be, and hitting all cylinders at the end of the season, and playing our best ball at the end of the season. And with the guys getting sick this week and missing practice, I'm okay with that. I like adversity. I like to see how people are going to respond. How are you going to adapt? How are you going to overcome it? Can you handle pressure? And we're going to play a team that likes the pressure, this week, and we're going to see if we can handle it or not.
Coach, can I talk about Frisco for a second, if you would? What's it like? What's it like going into their place? What's that environment like? And is it a tough place to go in as a visitor? Tough place for your team to play?
Well, that's a great question. I've never been there, so we'll find out. It looks like on film they got a great fan base, and again, we're looking forward to having some adversity and being in a different environment. And I think it's a mindset. Of do we? I talked to the team this week about do you have to go down there, or do you get to go down there? There's a different mindset, right? I think dominant teams enjoy going to other teams' turfs. You enjoy playing on other teams' turfs, playing in those environments. If you think you're dominant, you will be. I like the guys in our locker room. That's what we're working toward. We're trying to become a dominant, football team, and we're looking forward to the challenge. I mean, I think it's going to be a great challenge. And who knows? Listen, Frisco's got all the weapons. They got players. They got a great coaching staff. They're very capable of beating us if we don't show up with our A game. And I don't know. I mean, maybe our A game is not enough this week. We'll find out. That's why we play the games. And that's why I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to get this opportunity. I'm excited for the players, and that they're going to get an opponent this week that I think is worthy of coming in and competing with them on the field this week.
Well, Coach, you've got the gauntlet coming up, okay? So it's Frisco this week. Yep. Then you get to go to Tucson, take on the Sugar Skulls, the number 1 scoring offense in the league. Following that is the defending champion Massachusetts Pirates, who are still very, very good. They've got a 4-1 record right now, and they are ranked 3rd in the coaches poll. And then you get Frisco again. That time it'll be at your place. But the next 4 games on the schedule, you've got to be kind of happy that you got a bye week when you did. You got to feel good about that part. But, boy, what a challenge for the next month of football for the Rattlers.
Well, I said a couple of weeks ago, we're going to find out what this year's team of the Arizona Rattlers, the 2022 edition of the Arizona Rattlers, is all about over the next 4 weeks. We're in the meat of our schedule. And when you're playing a season of 16 games, you really, it sounds like coaches speak, but you really got to take this thing 1 week at a time. This is where we're at this point in the season, and and it's going to give us a great, we're going to be able to check our temperature a little bit and kind of see where we're at and see what we got to do to continue to build this roster. To be able to compete for a championship. And, you don't know when the injury bug's going to strike, right? So there's a lot of things that go on throughout the season that you got to have, that you need to be prepared for. So, this league in the last couple of years has gotten a lot tougher. The wins, it's very hard to get wins in this league. And, I've always been concerned as a coach going into a bye week and then also coming out of a bye week. Teams tend to, mindset-wise, can drift on you a little bit. So, it's my job to make sure we're in the right mindset, that this is a business trip, that we're getting on the plane to go over there and battle. And, again, we're looking forward to the challenge.
Well, tough schedule on the way for the Arizona Rattlers. There's no question about that. And it begins this 4-game stretch. And, they're all tough from here on out. But you laser in on that 4-game stretch on the way for the Rattlers. It begins in Frisco this coming Saturday. Ought to be a big challenge successfully as a young man.
Well, basketball and track, definitely, enjoyed playing those sports. But I also grew up on a river. And water skiing, jumping off cliffs, jumping off bridges. I mean, anything that, would scare your mother to death that you were doing, we did growing up. So, really enjoy, obviously, fishing growing up. But I was so occupied with playing different sports in every season. I did play a little baseball growing up, but decided to move on from that and focus more on football, basketball, and track. But really enjoyed those 3 sports, and and look, I'm a competitor. We'll play anything. I mean, down south, we'll play here, horseshoes, beer pong, you name it, we'll play it. So
yeah, and do it for. Yeah. And do it for something at the end. There's always got to be a carrot at the end of that stick of competition. That's how it goes. It sounds, by the way, like your younger life was every country music video I've ever seen. So,
I did not listen, because I'm from Alabama. I did not listen to country music growing up.
Oh no,
I did not.
What was on the playlist when you were in high school?
Well, I listened about everything but country. Okay, but I was, I like to get out and have a good time. I was definitely a tech guy. Okay. And, we'd get out and get after it, but I listened to it all, hip hop, whatever. But, I had a little flavor to me. I was out doing a lot of things when I was growing up.
I got you. I'm with you. And I relate as well to that, Coach. Well, listen, big game on Saturday, game at Frisco, 7:00 kickoff on Saturday night. And we wish you and the team the very best. Have a safe trip and we'll look forward to rehashing this thing with you next week. Okay.
You bet, Floyd. Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. There's Kevin Guy, the head coach of the Arizona Rattlers. This is the Arizona Rattlers Coaches Show with Kevin Guy. We'll do it again next week. And folks, don't forget, you can check out the Rattlers taking on the Frisco Fighters. It's a scheduled 7:05 kickoff this coming Saturday night. And you can look for it on the Indoor Football League's YouTube channel, goifl.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next time on the show.